go fishing, you know, y'all always hope to catch a lot of fish, get a lot of bites and everything. But I know when I go fishing, I like to learn something new. I like to do something a little different, explore some new waters. But what about those days that you go out and you just simply are clueless? You have no clue what's going on. You can't get a bite. You feel like you should be getting a bite, but you cannot get a bite at all. You know, I can recall a day, unloaded the boat, low misty clouds, a little bit of wind. Big front coming in, perfect conditions that I felt to be able to go out and get a bite. And, you know, put the boat in and immediately started fishing a boat ramp, throwing a shallow water crankbait, no bite. Throwing a deep diving crankbait, no bite. Ran down the bank a little bit, no bite. There was another guy in the pocket right there near me. He probably thought the same thing, why aren't we getting bit? Well, I looked back the other way and I idle over there and I'm thinking, man, I got a windy point, there's birds on it, you know, coots are swimming around. I mean, it's got all the recipe, in my opinion, to catch some fish. I love to fish in a windy point like this, blowing into it. Any time of the year, really, you almost are stimulating the food chain out there, all that action. Usually the water will be a little more off color. I obviously don't want it super, you know, 5-footers rolling into it, because then you pretty much are out of luck. But that's about perfect conditions right there for a lot of different things. You know, blowing the bait fish across, when it blows the bait fish across, and that blows the stuff that we want to catch in there as well. And when you mix in the right scenario and can find it, you can really load the boat on something like this. There's got to be some fish up there where those gulls are diving. Well, we're 0 for 2. 2 quick stops, kind of cranked down the boat ramp a little bit. Hit that point there where there were a lot of gulls diving. Once we got over there, there was nada, no bait fish, no bites, no nothing. So not really sure what they were chasing around, but our casts were pretty fruitless. So we're gonna run out. I'm gonna get on some of these main lake points. I just got that feeling right now with the water temperatures in the mid 50s, low 50s even. I need to be throwing an old jerkbait. So now you're at stop number 3 of your day and you hadn't got a bite. And really in my mind, I'm already like, holy cow, how am I not caught a bass? You know, the conditions are perfect in my opinion. You know, we even had birds diving at that stop there and coots swimming around in grass. And now I've thrown about 5 different baits and hadn't got a bite. So you feel like something's not right, let's abandon this area maybe and go somewhere else. So you're running down the lake and whether you fish, you know, your past history in this case, or you try to do something new, will kind of define probably in a lot of cases how the rest of the day will go. So you get to your next stop and you decide to go fish the dam. Hey, everybody knows a bass lives on the dam or something's gonna live on the dam. Heck, at this point, I'd be happy with a striper stretching the line. I'm about 2.5 hours into my day and I haven't even gotten a bite. And I still feel like this is a perfect fishing day. So you blast down the dam, you're scanning your Panoptics around, you're looking at your sonar, you're looking at everything, trying to get you're praying for a nibble at this point. You just need a sign from above to be able to get a bite. 8 different baits into the day and still not a bite when you crank up the engine and begin to move again. So if you're a tournament angler at this point of your day, you know you're in last place because you hadn't got a bite. You have 0 in your live well. If you're a recreational angler at this point, you have to start questioning, is it time to break open the beef jerky or start getting a snack or doing something different? Maybe go home and do those honeydews because maybe the fish aren't even biting on that day. But for me, I didn't really want to do the honeydews, but I still had a couple of hours left, so I decided I'm going to run all the way down to the other end of the lake.
Coming up next, Wade is still in search for a bite.
Off we go. We continue to miss the puzzle.
The Alaskan Series Cooler Packs by Arctic Ice. Specifically designed to keep your food and drinks cold all day long without having to use ice and end up with a soggy lunch. The Alaskan Series by Arctic Ice. Bitterly cold.
Engineered to excel, the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series are built for the ultimate ownership experience. It's a commitment to excellence packed with real-world advantages and exclusive features. Experience the accelerated performance standards of the legendary Ranger Z series. From first light to last cast, they're put together to set you apart. Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
There is no other sunglass product on the market like Amphibia. Optimized for life on water and land, Amphibia frames are designed to fit comfortably no matter how your face is shaped, to stay firmly in place through your most physical activities and to float in water.
See this? No! Oh! I see him!
On top of all this, Amphibia products are built to last, ensuring that they'll stand up to whatever you can dish out, time and time again. No other sunglass product on the market offers the features and quality that we do. Amphibia Sports Sunglasses incorporate several new advances, including maximum horizontal displacement lenses and a patented air cells that ensures every frame floats. In addition, Amphibia lenses are scratch-resistant, 100% polarized, anti-reflective on both the inside and outside, waterphobic, and ANSI-rated for protection. Amphibia sunglasses are truly designed for life on the water.
Bubba Blade, Bubba Blade.
The Bubba Blade is the ultimate sportsman's knife. For fishing,
One cut and you're through, guys, kind of like butter. Just like butter.
hunting,
You can see it just took that right off.
camping, or just carving up meat at the barbecue. If you've got a sportsman in the family, they're going to want to have a Bubba Blade knife. The super sharp edge and the large patented handle that gets sticky when wet makes the Bubba Blade a perfect sportsman's knife. The handle protects your hands from the blade, and the trigger grip and thumb pads let you have total control of the knife. The Bubba Blade comes in different styles and sizes to fit the need of every sportsman. So whether it's for the boat, hunting, camping, or just for slicing meat at a barbecue, the Bubba Blade is the ultimate knife for the sportsman. Go online at BubbaBlade.com to order your Bubba Blade today.
The world's best fishing line is now available in the United States.
That's a toad.
Sunline Super Fluorocarbon with strength to guarantee your confidence.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Cabela's. It's in your nature. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Yamaha Marine, reliability starts here. Garmin, the power of simple. And by Bradley Smoker, food smoking made easy.
Wade is fishing in Texas on Canyon Lake, and much to his dismay, he has yet to catch a bass.
So you as the angler at this point, you've gotten no bites. Now if you're in a tournament, your morale's probably pretty low, which you've got to overcome. You got to get pumped up because there's still a lot of time left in the day. For me, on this particular day, I had to go to a family barbecue, so I only had a couple of hours left. So my choices are put it on the trailer and go home early, or run to the other end of the lake. Now I'm pretty stubborn. I'm just looking for one bite. I do not want to blank. I don't want to go home without a bass. So I decided I'm going to run all the way up to the mouth of where the Guadalupe River comes into this lake and see if I can get a bite. I find vegetation, which I had not seen at that amount in that lake, and I ran back and forth up and down that pocket 4 or 5 times. I go to the other side, I start throwing a crankbait, I start flipping trees, I find another bluff. Now I'm about 10 different baits into this day, and I still didn't have a bite. I had to admit defeat at that point. I had to go to the family barbecue, still blown away under those conditions that I could not even find a 10-incher out of there. As an angler, I like to fish fast and I like to fish shallow. 10 feet and less is my comfort zone. It's what if you look in my rod box, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have a lot of those kinds of baits on. Did I simply miss the fish? Did I zig when I should have zagged? Were the fish way out deep? Or were they not biting that day? As I drove home, I was trying to process all of that information so that the next time I go out that I can not do the same things or change my rotation up and hopefully get a bite, because a lot of times all it takes is that one bite, that one nibble to be able to eliminate what was a no bite day. I pulled back on that thing, I thought, money! I look at another trip that we had where we got up early in the morning and drove out. Once again, a big front is due to come in as the day unfolds. To me, the conditions are perfect to be able to go out and get a bite, and we're going to a power plant lake that I've got a lot of experience on that has, I mean, a billion bass live in this lake. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, we're gonna get there. Before that front finishes blowing through, we're gonna catch them. So we dropped the boat in the water, and the only boat in the parking lot. Nobody else is around. I don't think I've ever been to that lake, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm thinking, man, we're gonna cherry pick every bass. And I start off flipping some reeds, and I'm going along, no bite. Pick up the trolling motor, run to another spot, and think, I want to crank down along the dam. The year before, I'd caught some doing that on a square bill, run down that, no bites. Said, I'm gonna run over here and tie on a lipless crankbait, see if I can't get a bite. No bites. So now I'm on spot number 3, and you know, you've got to start analyzing at this point as the angler. I love to flip, didn't get a bite. Really felt like I should have picked up a bite or two there. You know, throwing the square bill down there, I could see that one not necessarily working under those conditions, so I kind of discounted that. Was shocked when I didn't get a bite on the lipless crankbait over there. I had covered some good drop-offs. I had studied my graph, and I mean, I felt like there should have been a bass there. So I ran all the way back around and decided, okay, we got to dissect this. We're going to go to the discharge area. The water will be warmer. There's always some bass there. And I start fishing around there, and I can see them on my graph, but I can't make them bite. I'm dropping a spoon on them. I'm dragging a worm on them, and I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go again. We're going to have a repeat of our last trip. There's you know, this lake here, I should be catching them. What am I doing wrong? Am I just in a slump? Am I fishing too fast? And now you as the angler need to sit down and probably think about what's going on there, and you think, okay, there's got to be a way to catch them, because to paraphrase David Walker, someplace, somewhere, they're always biting and you can catch them. I mean, every time I talk to him about it, that's something that he says with confidence. So I'm thinking when I look at my graph and looking at the water temperature, maybe they're right on the bank. So I run right up on the bank, and when I go to the bank and I want to cover water, I love to throw a swim bait. So I tie on a little swim bait, and I'm chunking along there. And finally I get my first bite, and I felt like Christmas morning had come through there, even though I missed that fish. And I started, you know, moving around down through there, and for the next about 30 minutes, you talk about humbling. I'd get bite after bite after bite.
Coming up next, will Wade finally hook into a fish?
We will continue to do battle with the little green devil until we figure out how to catch him.
Fish on! Come on, get together.
After all my years of searching, I finally busted the myth of the Yeti! The Angle High Performance Cooler, it's incredible! Just look at this lid, what a powerhouse! It's so freaking strong, so reliable, I just wanna boom! This silicone gasket's better than rubber!
Why, hello there. Are your base and sidewalls way thicker for superior insulation?
Oh, yes! After 10 days, still cold, still fresh. Let's hear Yeti do that. With Angle Coolers, it's official. The Yeti is busted.
Heavy duty, rugged, and designed for the big game hunter and angler. The Food Saver Game Saver Titanium Vacuum Sealer has the power and performance to seal in the freshness of your game and fish for up to 3 years, 5 times longer than standard storage methods. And with its extra wide dual and repetitive sealing capabilities, that's a ton of big game savings. Tough tested and rated 4.8 out of 5 stars by outdoorsmen just like you. The Food Saver Titanium System, it's a true game changer.
Call me a fool for searching. Nessie doesn't want to be found. But I've got the new Garmin combo with the clearest scanning sonar images on the water. I can see Nessie's home and all the wee fish in crisp detail. I mean, look at it, look. It's her. You are real. You do exist.
Hobie's Mirage Drive kayaks set the standard for fun on the water. Whether your passion is fishing, sailing, or recreational adventure, Hobie's got a kayak for you. Hobie's Mirage Drive mimics nature's proven designs for efficient and powerful propulsion and enhances your kayaking experience. Mirage Power, Mirage Performance, Mirage Drive. Hobie, enjoy the ride.
C.A. Richardson here for Power Pole, where every shallow water anchor is designed and tested to be extremely quiet. How quiet? Let's take a look. Hey guys. Great work, guys.
Don't slam the door.
Power Pole, deadly silent to help you catch more fish.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Spro, Sports Professionals, Sunline America, the strength to guarantee your confidence, Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line, Hydrowave, ignite a feeding frenzy, and by
Arctic Ice, bitterly cold.
Finally, I get my first bite, and I felt like Christmas morning had come through there, even though I missed that fish. And I started, moving around down through there. And for the next about 30 minutes, you talk about humbling. I'd get bite after bite after bite. God, you little sucker, man. Go. Oh, you friggin' little schnitzel sucker. Ooh, that felt good. Just don't get it, man. There he is. Yeah. Oh for 8. There he is. God. Come on. Eat the bait. I think 0 for 12 is like some kind of record. It's getting on into the day. The sky's starting to clear. And I'm like 0 for a dozen at this point. And I mean, when I say 0 for a dozen, I mean these fish have knocked the snot out of that bait. I've adjusted a little bit. I actually broke one off. I kind of gave myself credit right there because I had one on for a second. I could not figure out why I couldn't catch them. Dropped my power poles, drug a worm around. Finally, at that point right there, I thought, you know what? I need to clear my head. A lot of times when I'm fishing, I'll move to go clear my head. I want to go do something different. Basically, drop the motor down, trim it down, and hammer it off, and off we go, going looking for something else. And there's a pocket on that lake that I always catch them. I'm thinking to myself at this point, after a couple of failed trips and quite a few hours out here, and I'm still the only guy on the lake. I mean, when you look at the parking lot, the only boat over there, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, somewhere, I'm gonna catch one, and this pocket's gotta be it. So I'm casting around, and I start looking at my pan optics a little bit, and I can see this grass line out there, and I fire my old swim bait down there, and finally, after being like 0 for 13 or 14, I smoke one. Oh, there's bass right there. There we go. Oh, good one too. Right on the edge of that creek drop off right there. Good one, good bass. Big one. Wow. We are 0 for 13 before hooking up with this guy. That's a good one. We have fished all over the place on a little bit of everything before hooking that guy. There's a lot of lessons into this fishing. There's a good one right there. There's a good one. We just kept going and going and going. We backed off a little deeper. We had, like I said, we had 13 bites that we missed. And then that guy there loaded up on the way he's supposed to. Let him go quick. I need to move my boat back off. We dropped off. You can see what's left of an old creek up there. He's sitting on the edge of that. And now that one ate it the way you expect one to. I'd been watching the pan optics and I had seen some grass walls. That's kind of a unique thing that we're learning about this that really shows up. You can scan left and right and you'll see a wall of just stuff all of a sudden pop up, and that's the grass line. And I tried to back out and kind of start paralleling it when I got that bite. Yeah, it kind of just really, to me, we had perfect, what I would call winding conditions all morning long, moving baits, and I had a dozen plus bites and never got a hook in but one, broke the line on it, and then now we got high bluebird, high pressure, and catch that bass. You just never know on this deal. You know, there's lots of things we call rules and the way to do it, but the reality of it is, till you get out and fish and see what the fish want to do, there's no telling. You know, you just adjust and keep fishing, and sometimes you just shake your head at it. It doesn't make sense.
The Fisherman's Handbook crew trusts Ranger boats to get them to and from their favorite spots on the water. Let's put your Ranger knowledge to the test. For the answer to this, or to find out more about Ranger boats, visit mydreamrig.com.
The Arctic Ice Tundra Series, capable of keeping your food frozen all day long. The Tundra Series is a portable, safe, and reusable alternative ideally suited to replace dry ice. Keep your food as frozen as the Tundra with the Tundra Series from Arctic Ice.
From bass and walleye to crappie in the great outdoors, you deserve more than old school aluminum. Reward yourself with the quality, performance, and extra room in a Ranger aluminum design. Packed with features, these rigs carry an ultra-smooth dry ride and stable platforms. Experience a Ranger aluminum boat today. It's engineered to excel and priced to be yours. Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
The world's best fishing line is now available in the United States. Sunline FX2, the strongest braid available.
This braid, I'll absolutely love it.
After your next successful fishing trip, savor the flavor with a Bradley Smoker. They have a whole list of creative recipes for catch with a wide variety of delicious smoky wood flavors. Find out more about making your meal as memorable as the fishing trip at bradleysmoker.com.
Yamaha VMAX SHO, the game changer. The pros knew right out of the first hole shot that the VMAX SHO was the real deal. VMAX SHO exceeds two-stroke performance, delivers four-stroke efficiency, and is packed with legendary Yamaha reliability. It's the faster, stronger, smarter, lighter family of VMAX SHO outboards from Yamaha.
Gill that I've used for the last 5 years has been a far superior product than anything else on the market.
The main thing that's really important to me is me being dry. I've been wearing gill suits now for 3 years and never once have I gotten wet.
Engel's got the original high performance cooler and a whole lot more. Engel coolers, go with the original.
Welcome back to the Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook. Wade has fished for 2 days and has only been able to hook up with one fish.
As I look at those 2 days of fishing and I talk about learning and everything, I could not find one single solitary thing that I totally took away from it, except for the fact that we were fishing, and that's better than going to work. I mean, I can't say that I did anything totally wrong because I fished the way I like to fish, and I fished the way I believed that the fish were gonna react, and they just, for whatever reason, and all of those different changes from deep to shallow and from bait 1 to bait 20, from heavy line to light line, from all those presentations, I can't say that I took one great lesson away from that. And you know, as a fisherman, not catching them and not taking a lesson away from it, I really am still to this day, when I combine those two trips, confused about why I couldn't catch them. Was it just simply a slump on my behalf, bad decisions, fishing too fast, getting in the wrong areas, getting out of the wrong cycle? I don't know. But after I caught that one, I wanted more. And that's what drives you as a fisherman. So what I did was go back to that spot where I had all of those bites and put my trolling motor down to try to figure out what was going on. Why could I not catch a bass there? So I dropped my trolling motor in that area and grinded out the rest of the day. Gotta be a bite right here. Come on. Pretty day though, really. You know, it really wasn't, it was cold, but it wasn't that bad. If you think about it, you know, it started in the 30s, it's sleeting at my house when I left. And now, I mean, it's gorgeous. The crows are cawing, the buzzards are flying. They're probably circling us looking for dinner. Bad one. God, we haven't hooked very many fish today, but the ones we have hooked have been solid for sure. God, what a light bite. We're back where we had all those bites on the swim bait earlier today, and I thought, man, I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna get on the edge. Come here, darling. I'm gonna get on the edge of that little drop off, and I didn't get any bites on my swim bait that time. Drug the old worm around out there and just barely felt that pickup. And where you can see it just dropped off on the creek right there. So I'll throw a few more worms around. Maybe we can pick up a few more bites like that. That was good. It's such a funny day today. I have to say it's been a lot of fun, even though we haven't caught a whole lot. You know, we had literally 13, 14 swim bait bites and caught one. That's the only other bite of any other bait that we've had all day. And I have done absolutely everything. I have flipped reeds, I have thrown square bills and crankbaits on rocks, I have thrown a spoon deep, I have drugged this worm on points and up shallow, I have flipped trees, I've thrown a wacky worm, I've thrown a lipless crankbait, I have thrown a bladed swim jig, I've gone deep, I've gone shallow. I mean, how interesting is it that we've done everything. And we've put 2 fish in the boat and had, like I said, 13 or 14 bites on the swim bait. Caught one good one on it, but you know, it's a contrast of 2 things today. We left the house, it was sleeting, it was really cold, mid-30s, cloudy and windy. We knew we were going to be dealing with this in the afternoon, and high bluebird sky, high pressure rolling in, the wind's quitting. It's going to be super cold tonight, probably down to about 31. But here's the reality of it: we got to go fishing. We got some bites, we just didn't catch them. So, you know, if you judge it by how many fish we caught, not a successful day in reality. If you judge it on a great day outdoors, learned some different techniques, did some different things that we will be able to expand on in our future, very successful day. Regardless of the fact that I have fished basically for 4.5 decades of my life now, I hope I can always learn more and more, because fishing is constantly evolving, and these fish, more often than not, I actually think they've got our number even when we think we crushed them.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook. For any of the products seen used on today's show, visit Cabelas.com.
God, you little sucker, man. Go! Oh, you friggin' liver schnitzel sucker. The fish won. I know nothing to say, we won't ever use it.